to Besties and
Bubbles.
Besties and Bubbles.
Yay.
Cheers to my friend here.
Cheers.
We kind of have something. I really love this topic, actually.
You do. I mean, I like it too, but I know you have a lot of passion
I have
towards
a
it.
lot of passion for it because
do.
I think it's like magic.
Yeah.
That's a
Magic.
tall order, honestly.
I mean,
it is.
You know.
But I often listen to other podcasts and people like that, right? And I was listening to one morning, and I was like, "This is so good. It's really hitting home." So I sent it to Kimmy, thinking it's going to hit home with her, and it was like, boom, home run.
100%.
100%, because we deal with this daily, right? In all different levels and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's about decluttering your life.
Wow.
And it's starting at home. Decluttering, because the statistics say that clutter and disorganization actually lead, it can affect your mental health.
Your mental health.
I was going to say mental wellness, but it's wellness and mental health together.
That's okay. You're just thinking ahead, you know.
But
But
I
I do agree.
Yes.
Right? So, I mean, think of it. Like,
right.
How much clutter is in your head, and if there's things that you can do to declutter physically,
yes,
then that should eventually lead to decluttering mentally.
Yes. So we did a little bit of a rabbit hole, and Terry Seville was actually who I watched.
Yes.
And I sent to you, and it was about her title of her podcast was Decluttering Your Way to Success.
Oh,
That's what it was. So we watched that, and we kind of just want to share some notes and see if this actually is something that you can relate to. Okay. So the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Everything. I do remember that, and that's a great phrase.
It's a big quote. It's not her quote, but that is a great quote.
Yeah. No, I agree.
How you do one thing is how you do everything. So you can't be someone that's like, I want to build this company and I want to do all this stuff if your life is a mess.
Yeah.
How you do the little things is really how you're going to be doing the big things.
Yeah.
So that is
one of the littlest things you can do first thing in the morning. Make your bed.
Make your bed. He wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah. I know we've seen the videos where there's the books and everything, but make your bed. Yeah. Then you've accomplished something.
You've accomplished something. And that's really what we're piggybacking off of, is organizing, being successful in just one thing, like bits, pieces.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if your life is in disarray, now that's a pretty broad thing to say, but I mean, if you have certain
even if
things,
it's just slightly messy.
Yeah.
Like muddy.
And and I'm not saying just your life, but let's just say your house or whatever. I mean, and it could be pretty overwhelming to think, how am I ever going to tackle this? There's a phrase that's called, how do you eat an elephant? And
that's a phrase. How do you eat an elephant?
Yeah. How do you eat an elephant?
Who eats an elephant?
Well, it's a phrase. I'm just saying, for something that's big.
Are you making things up again? Because sometimes you make up things that are awesome.
Well, I'm not making this up, but the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So,
do people eat elephants?
No,
no, maybe they do, Kim.
I don't think so. I don't think you can eat elephants. But animal people don't come after me. I just don't think you can eat elephants. I don't think that's
it's socially not acceptable?
I think if it's on an endangered species list, I don't think you eat it. But anyway, I digress. Right. But the point being is that you can conquer anything if you just break it down into bite-sized workable amounts.
Organizational experts say that once, there are people that you can pay to come into your house, but that is not what we're talking about. But these people that come in and organize other clients' homes say that their clients often lose weight, get out of toxic relationships. They quit jobs that are unhealthy for them.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they stop bad habits too.
Yes.
Because they have a sense of control now, and they have built themselves up I can do this, and then they stop all the other stuff. That's a great statistic. Getting organized can actually
help you in other ways that you didn't
absolutely.
necessarily expect.
Yeah. 10 benefits to getting rid of clutter and
Oh.
to organizing.
Okay. All right. What do you
Saving
got?
money.
Oh.
Saving money. How do you think it could save you money, Kimmy?
I mean, maybe you have multiple things of the same thing because you forget you have said thing. So you keep going to the grocery store and, buying that same bottle of maple syrup or whatever.
I don't know why I don't think I have syrup.
I'm just saying.
We differ. So Kim is very organized when it comes to going to the grocery store. I am not. I'm going to do better. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. But yes, I have like 4 things of syrup. I don't know why I keep buying syrup.
That's a lot of maple syrup.
Now I know. I don't have syrup. I have plenty of syrup. I don't need syrup. Duplicate purchases is one. Paying bills on time. They say people that are disorganized pay late fees because, or even like late taxes.
Because they forget.
Like because they're just not organized
with
it.
Yeah. No, that's huge. Huge.
And
Absolutely.
also organized people tend to buy less.
Well, if you take an inventory of what you have.
Yeah, that could be that.
When you go to shop,
right.
Not to buy
maple
syrup. Again.
3. Okay. Second benefit would be you can find things quickly. They said that top 5 things that Americans waste time looking for. Waste time. Do you know that one study said a year of your life? I don't know how they came up with that.
A year? Like 365 days?
That's one study I looked up.
Oh my God.
A year of your life is wasted on looking for things. But Americans spend time looking for their keys.
Yes.
Their phones.
Yes.
Now I have a watch. I'm like, beep, 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 beep. I do
it
twice a day.
Yes.
Wallet or purses.
Agreed.
Remote controls.
Maybe.
Really? You always know where your remote control is?
Yeah, I actually
have
a tray. So, yeah.
Yeah, my dad constantly loses his remote. He's like, I don't know where it is. It's like all in his covers. Yeah, and glasses.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? It's funny?
Well, glasses. No, but like I feel like people like there's a commercial like, have you seen my glasses? And they're like on top of her head.
Well, apparently Americans have lost their glasses and they need them and they're like trying to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay. So third benefit would be saving time. The average woman spends 55 minutes a day looking for items.
A day?
The internet doesn't like him. I don't think I spend 55 minutes a day.
No.
Because I think I tend to be on the more
I would hope the average woman does not spend 55 minutes a day.
What about when you were a mom and your kid wanted that one toy and you're like, oh, you're looking over the whole house?
Well, I would buy multiple toys and keep them in multiple bags.
The same toy?
Not necessarily, but maybe one similar.
But like you know when they like
they're lovey. How about they're lovey? Like I would say it would be their lovey, right? Because there's really only one lovey, you know. Okay. Yeah. So maybe if you didn't know where lovey was, that would be critical
for sure. Keeping track of deadlines, meetings. You're just more prepared, and you're not going to be late. Faster decision making too. So that's also how you can save time if you're more organized and you declutter. Number 4 was be more creative. I think that is 100% true.
Why do you think that?
Because when my office it was one of my goals that I had at the beginning of the year is to clean and make my environment where I spend a lot of time decluttered. And I work so much better without the clutter. I do. It's like magic.
Well, I would tend to agree. And I think that again, we talked about in the beginning, right, of decluttering the physical stuff, right, leads to decluttering the mental, right?
Well, it allows the mental, it allows.
Well, you don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think about it.
You don't have to stress about it.
Right.
Right. So
That's the next one, Kim. Number 5 is be less stressed. 90% of Americans say disorganization has a negative impact on their life.
I mean, I would tend to agree, right? Because here's the thing. you're not in control then. It's the
Right.
clutter that's in control of your life.
Right.
Right? And that would probably lead to stress.
Yes, but also I think it's like that constant, oh, I should really do this, or I should really do that, or you know what I mean? And we're gonna get to very soon. We're gonna get to like how we can help this
Yeah.
situation. But
Yeah.
okay. Number 6 is you'll sleep better. A third of your life is in your bedroom. So if you're constantly going to sleep, going, "Ugh,
Yeah.
all this stuff I have
Putting
to
my
do," and
head
just
down and
pushing
I
it
got this to
down, and like
do.
all this,
Right.
and then you wake up thinking, where are my shoes are all disorganized, and this and that, or guys' ties, or my closet,
Yeah.
trying to get ready for work. Disorganization, it actually helps you sleep better when things are organized because you can just take it off your
Because you're
list.
not thinking about it.
You know, so, and we all want to sleep better.
Absolutely.
We need our
We
sleep.
love sleep. We do.
We do love sleep.
Yeah.
We don't sleep the best, but you know why I know you don't sleep so well? It's because you send me stuff in the middle of the night, and I have sent you stuff too. Like, oh, this is a good reel. Whoop.
Yeah.
Came on like 3:03.
Yeah. The green light's on.
Got it.
We all know.
Got it. Green lights on Facebook. Yes. Okay. Number 7 is you make time and energy to go after your dreams and goals.
Because you're not focused on decluttering. Because you've already decluttered.
This podcast is literally the benefit of me getting organized and decluttering, and it has allowed me to say we have been talking about this podcast for a long time.
Yes. Like months and months.
Months and months.
Months and months.
But it took January when I set goals for the year and stuff, where I was like, I'm going to do this and this, that made me say, I cleaned out, we're going to do this, we're going to do. It's literally the reason why we have a podcast is because I decluttered areas of my life and my house and my office. And I was like, now I have space for this.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Cheers.
decluttering. That's why we think it's important.
Absolutely.
This is literally why we think it's important. Okay. 8 is you're a great example for your children and family.
Of course, do as I do, not as I say. I mean,
yeah.
Normally we say, do as I say, not as I do, right?
Yes.
As parents now, but you get what I mean.
But I don't live in a house the way I keep a different house than my parents kept when I lived there.
Oh, okay.
I do.
What are some of the differences?
My dad was.
Well, yes.
There's not enough time to go into that.
No, that's a whole nother episode.
But were your parents very organized?
My parents are extremely organized. Extremely organized.
I could tell you that I could walk into Kim's house like, hey, I'm down the street. I could walk in and there are several rooms of her house that I could like do a video. They're that perfect.
No, I don't know if they're perfect, but
your
living
they're
okay.
Room, your dining room, your family room, your kitchen usually, unless you're cooking,
right,
is like
my guest room,
fresh yes, and fresh flowers. I mean, I think you're very tidy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's not to say I don't have, skeletons in the closet somewhere.
Yes. Well,
but
now this podcast is going to tell you, like, this is the stuff you're going to have even more like space opened up if you just tackle those projects.
I agree. I agree.
Build better relationships is number 9. We're only going to 10. Number 9 is build better relationships. How long? This is what they asked Americans. How long would it take you? They asked over 1,000 people. It was like 1,100. I don't know. It's a weird number, but over 1,000 people. How long would it take you to get your house ready for company? What would your answer be?
Oh, well, I don't know, 5 minutes. Because because I feel like we have people over often, right? So
you have kids coming in.
We love to entertain. So I always make sure there's stuff for a charcuterie board. There's, drinks and some type of satisfying sustenance that we can. I'm not going to call it a meal, but maybe it's flatbreads. Maybe it's, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
To serve people, right?
And what I have already expressed is your house is presentable for people to walk in. You can close doors that maybe you don't think are presentable.
100%. Yes.
Do you make your bed every day?
I actually I do.
You do. I do. Too.
I do.
But okay, so maybe like bedroom closets, or other rooms, whatever. But offices, that kind of stuff. But you could literally So most people, 65% of people said 4 hours or less. They could
4 hours.
It was or less. That was like the box.
4 hours is a lot to get your house presentable.
Well, that was the box they got to choose from.
Well,
but Kim, 11% of people said never. They would not have anybody over.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, they're saying based on the condition of their house, 11% of people of this 1,000 said they don't want anyone to come over. Never. 10% said they would need 8 hours.
That's like
to make their house presentable.
That's like an entire workday. Well, like, what do you got to do?
I don't know the answer to that. Okay. Well, you can answer the question. 7% said they needed a whole day, 24 hours notice to entertain. And 6% said 40 hours or more. That's excessive. But
that's an entire work week. Like, you need an entire work week?
Well, yeah, but they're saying that they have what they're saying is they have so much clutter. They have so many jobs that have to get done.
Okay,
that
fair.
For them to feel proud of their home, they would need that much time.
Okay, fair.
And
so,
yes. And number 10 benefit to having your house organized would be it helps you be more confident, because if you have somebody shows up at your door unannounced and you're apologizing for your laundry or the dog hair, or you know what I mean, then that affects your self-esteem. And if you could be proud of the space that you live in, then that is something worth, that there's definitely value in that, right? If you can be proud of the space that you live in every day. So if somebody showed up at my house, and the funny story is that my brother, who lives out of state, called me on last Friday night and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about coming in tomorrow." I'm like, "Tomorrow?" Like, as in
tomorrow?
The next day.
Like the next day?
And I was like, "Absolutely, you could stay with me." And I think I talked to you about this. I'm glad that my house was presentable enough to be able to provide a space for him and not be embarrassed. I mean, I'm sure where he lives is I think he's very well cared for, and him and his wife have a very nice. So for him to be able to come here, I was glad that the things were done in my house and decluttered in my main areas. I have areas too, but that I need attention to. So, okay.
So we have these situations, right?
And we know the benefits.
We do know the benefits.
Yes.
And again, I mean, the situations, you probably need something.
I don't care anymore.
Oh, we can share.
That's okay.
I'll share with you.
Okay, well then you talk about how we start doing this.
So we all have various levels, right? I just shared, I've got closets or rooms I'm going to close the door to, and that's fine.
And some people have their car.
Some people have their
purse they know needs attention.
Yes.
They keep shoving receipts in there from 2014.
Right. Or maybe it's a craft room or a play room or whatever the case may be.
Right.
The mud room, right? It doesn't matter. We all have
the kids dump all their stuff.
We all have those spaces.
Right.
And, maybe you're thinking, I'm never going to be able to get this cleaned up, right? Because either, if you're a Gen Xer like us, maybe you're kind of having some fun and you're traveling or going out or what have you, or maybe you're a millennial and you're in the thick of going to all your kids' sporting events
every weekend,
dance things and, whatever the case may be, right? So I think going back to my question of how do you eat an elephant, it's one bite at a time, right? It's legit, right? Like, you got to take these, you got to break these up into chunks, right? So
you were so famous for strange.
So, well,
I love it.
It's all right. That's the Cliff Clavin in me of knowing where.
I
know. I just totally dated myself. All right.
No, you Gen X'd yourself.
I did. Cheers. That's what I'm gonna do.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. It's okay. Anyway.
Cliff Clavin. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Okay.
So
how do we do this?
So go to the room, right, that I guess you spend the most time in.
Yes.
Right? So maybe, I know you said we spend 30% of our time in our bedroom. Maybe if you work from home, you've got a home office. Or again, if you have littles around the house, maybe it's your place. It doesn't matter. You decide, right? And spend 20 minutes. 20 minutes. That's all it takes. And you know what?
Start with 20 minutes. Like set a timer. Say, I am.
Yeah, take your phone.
Take your phone. Put that on airplane mode. Put on good music or a podcast or something that makes you feel good and work for 20 minutes.
20 minutes. That's it. And you know what? They've said do it every day. You know what? We're all busy. So if you can't do it every day, that's okay. Maybe it's 3 times a week. Maybe it's 2 times a week. Maybe it's once a week. It doesn't matter.
As long as you
commit and stick, and then you are accomplished. Right? So
that's the best thing, is to know, like, I did that.
I did that. And then that'll be another thing. We cross it off your list, but
cross it off the list.
We'll get there. But, I think that with anything, we like to have little wins, right? I mean, we like to have big wins in our lives too. But I think that when we have something that may be super overwhelming and we don't know how we're going to be able to accomplish it, then those little wins, these little bite-sized wins, these little nuggets, whatever we want to call them, of wins will help build your confidence, which we spoke to earlier, and will help get you to your end result.
And I also think decluttering, which with Amanda and stuff I've been working on, selling stuff. I used to have a studio and I sold stuff. Like if I just sold this stuff, it has value.
Absolutely.
Marketplace is great. So when you're decluttering, think about, this has value, but not to me. Sell it.
Because
make money on this stuff.
One person's trash is another person's treasure.
Very true.
Right?
Yes.
So these are all great things that I think that, it's springtime here. Well, springtime. It's springtime here in North America, but because we may have people listening to us from other countries, but definitely in the Midwest, we have spring fever right now. And what a great time, right, to kind of go through your closets, your space, whatever it is that you want to declutter in your life.
Closets.
And just
throw out the old medicines, throw out the old makeup.
Let it go.
Yes. Just let that stuff go. And then if you think things, I'm just not using it anymore, sell it.
Yeah.
Make some money on it.
Like if you haven't used it in over a year, it's kind of a thing that
they do that thing in the closet where you just at the beginning of the year you turn your have you ever done that?
I kind of have, and then sometimes it's like what's old is new again, and then you're like, where's my old thing that I threw away? But I'm just saying, in general,
I donate a lot because I lost quite a bit of weight in the last year, 2 years. So I'm just like, I got rid of, like, I'll never wear that again.
That definitely
so
makes
I just started like giving that stuff to friends or whatever, or then I'll donate.
Yeah.
But I really think there's value in that. Like organization, clearing out, decluttering, it opens up such another space for you to be creative, to be to save money, to be organized, is just, honestly, I think it's priceless.
So to actually bring a better version of yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? And maybe, not maybe, who doesn't want that? I'm not going to say maybe.
Well, we only have one glass. How are we going to cheers?
Wrap
this up.
It's okay. Well,
Wait, cheers. Let me give you a little.
Oh, I love you.
There we go. Okay.
So
thank you for watching. Please visit our Instagram page or our Facebook page and tell us if you thought this was helpful and if you were able to do any of these things we were suggesting, because there's a ton of benefits to just being decluttered.
Or if you have other ideas that we didn't touch upon. I mean, we don't know everything. We're not experts. We're just experienced.
Cheers, Kimmy.
Cheers.